morning we're going to make a broth. We're going to be really adventurous. Not only are we going to make a broth, we're going to make some dumplings to go with it as well, and then we're going to ash it for what you would do the day after. So first of all, I'm going to go through the ingredients for the broth. This is a Savoy cabbage. We're going to use half of this and we're going to trim it all up. This is a swede, as the cameraman says, and we're going to chop this in half because we don't want it that big. These are trim leeks. Ideally you want a leek about that big, but I got a bag of trim because they're easier to deal with. You want 3 good carrots. Because these are small, I've done them like 4 like that. 3 sticks of celery, 4 vegetable oxo cubes, dessert spoon of corn flour. We use dessert spoons because tablespoons won't fit in a drawer. Fresh thyme, not all of it, I'll show you how much. Dried thyme and some pepper. And when we do the dumplings, we're going to use vegetable suet and mixed herbs, self-raising flour and pepper again. But we'll get back to that later. So at the minute, we're just going to prepare the basic broth. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, I'm just going to show you what we do with this Savoy cabbage, just to prepare it. I've cut it in half, and we're cutting the middle bit out, because you don't want the hard bit in, because if you get the hard bit in, it's not going to taste right when it's cooked. So just shred the seam off. So we're going to do that off them all, and then we'll just shred it. With the swede, ideally you want half of this, but get one that's already cut in half in the supermarket, because otherwise you need a tool to split it, and the tool to split it is this. It works well. Well, joking really. But you can use that if you want, as long as you do it outside. You don't want to crack any tiles. Usually you want a sharp knife, so we're going to cut that in half and prepare it. Okay, see you in a minute. I'm going to show you with the cabbage. We've shredded the cabbage down. We've cut a swede with the help of one of them and one of these, because it is tough. We're going to peel this with a potato peeler so it gets all the skin off, and then we're going to chop it up into squares. So I'll show you that, but that's basically the best way to do it. Okay, so we'll get back to you when that's prepared. Right, we've prepared all the veg. We've got a swede and it's cut down quite like that. You don't want big chunks in it. Cabbage is shredded, the leek quite thin, celery quite thin, carrots chopped like that. What we're going to do is throw them all in, start cooking. So you get your carrots in, flicking them up. You get the celery and the leek. I'll show you the easiest way to do this as well. You get your swede. Now then, before you put your cabbage in, you're better off to put your other stuff in. So we're going to put, with the thyme, you've probably got about 10 little bits out of the pack. Because we're putting fresh in and we're putting dried. So put that in there, and then we need a teaspoon. Let's get a teaspoon of thyme and get it heat. You want a good teaspoon of that in there. You want your stock. So we're going to crumble this in. Just get that out ready. And with the corn flour, I think I'm just going to put it in and I mix it round. I'm not going to put it in the water this time, I'll just put it straight on. So it's easier. Let's get this out. Now then, you better have to peel these away from the pan because you don't want bits of metal in. So we're going to put the corn flour, a dessert spoon of corn flour, quite a good one. Flip it up like that, put it in. Just mix it in a little bit. Right. Now then, I'm going to crumble this in. And then, with your 4 oxo veg stocks when they're crumbled, we're going to put 2 pints of water in. I've already got that measured. I'm going to put that in there. There's a pint in here, which is going in. And there's a pint in here, going in. Then, we're going to get a pepper. I'm going to put quite a bit of pepper in. Pepper brings out all the flavour, and we like black pepper. So we're doing that. And then, we're going to put the cabbage on the top. lid on. We're going to cook this on just nearly a medium, just over low, but not quite so medium. Just let it go down a little bit. Do it like that. You can stir it every 5 minutes or so, make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. So this is on for about maybe 20 minutes or so, till the things start going soft, and then we'll make the dumplings and put them, so we'll get back to you then. Okay, for the brave and the semi-professional, we're going to make some dumplings. We're going to use 4 ounces of self-raising flour. We're going to use 2 ounces of vegetable suet. We got one before we didn't like, but we like this one. It's a Tour and it's quite good. We're going to use a half a teaspoon, quite a good half teaspoon of mixed herbs, and some pepper. And we're going to put them all in here. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to get back to you in a minute. Okay? We've put all the ingredients in, including a good amount of black pepper, and we're going to mix it all up. Now we're going to add about 6 dessert spoons of water. We want to get it to like a battery type mix. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You might need a little more, you might need a little less, but you want to get it so that it gets sticky, and then you can roll it up into little balls. Let's just get it going. And I'll show you what consistency you need in a minute. With this one we might need to add maybe just another spoon. With it you can overdo it, so you've got to go gently when you've gone from your 6 and just tread carefully with it to get it so it binds up. I'll come back to you when I've got it how I want it, and then you can see how it's supposed to be before you roll them. So we'll come back to you in a second, but we might just add another dessert spoon. Okay. We ended up adding just about another dessert spoon and a half. You want it, for the people with children you want it like Play-Doh, for the builders you want it like putty, but not too wet. If you get it too wet, add a bit more flour, and then you're going to break it up into little balls, around about the size of a little bouncy ball, and you get them, roll them up like that, because these are going in later. Now if you want really big dumplings, you can make them big if you want, but I think they're better off like this, and then everybody gets a portion. So just roll them up, and then in a minute I'm going to put them in. And you might get maybe 12, 13 of this sort of size. For the big ones you probably get 6, it's up to you. Okay? And when this is ready, we'll pop them in. So that's that with that. Okay? Right, we've been on about maybe 30 minutes, something like that. We've stirred it up and got the thyme out, so all the thyme's come to the top and we picked it out. Now you want it so that your swede is just, so the fork's going in it but not right through it. Same with your carrots as well, so that they're a bit tough to get through but you can still get through them. And then you're going to put your dumplings in. So we're going to drop them in. And then these take about 15 minutes to cook, and then it should all be ready. So with the dumplings, you don't want them to stick to your hand when you're rolling them. If you get them right, they won't. So I'm just going to bob these in. If somebody makes a giant dumpling, it takes over the pan, please send me a picture. But ideally, you want them about that big, and we ended up with 15 there. We're just going to do that. We might put the lid on again. You don't need to put the lid on if you don't want, but you can. So we're going to leave that for about 10-15 minutes till they swell up, and then they're done. Okay? Right, we've added on about an hour, something like that, lid on and off. We've got the dumplings now, and they're ready, and they just get to the size where they double the size and they sort of melt in your mouth. So you want to try one just to make sure the dumplings are right. When the dumplings are right, you're ready. Now, this is how my mum likes it, or anybody else likes it. You just get your broth, dump it on your thing, and have it like this. You get the dumplings in. Some people like a lot of dumplings, some don't. So I'm going to just do it like that. Now, you can have it like this, and you can have brown sauce on if you want. But I prefer it the way that my dad used to do it. And he used to get the mash like that, about 1/3 of mash, 2/3 of broth, maybe a little bit more. Put it in the frying pan. And he used to fry it down, stir it round until it goes quite substantial, so it's all the juice is pretty much gone. And then he used to mix some brown sauce in, maybe about a squirt of it, until he liked it. And that's how we had it. So the day after, when you've had it like this, you can have it as an hash. So we're just going to do an hash and show you what it's like when it's done with hash. And then that'll be it. So we're just going to turn this on now. You're right with that, go on. Okay, right. We've hashed it now. So it's all mixed in. Turn it around on quite a low heat till all the juice is gone. and then we're just going to simply turn it out onto your plate. And this can be day 2 if you want to do this for day 2 with it, or if you like it like this and do it both days. You can either then put a bit of brown sauce in it or ketchup. We're brown sauce in this house, we're not ketchup, but it's personal taste. Just mix a squirt in and then have it like that, and that's the way that it is. Okay.